Hello and welcome back. My name is Hulda, and today I would like to talk about the 7 keys to living a happy introverted life in an extroverted world. For us introverts, the entire world that is pretty much made for extroverts can be very overwhelming, and it can be very exhausting and just plain loud. So let's get into it and start breaking down the 7 keys to a happy introverted life in an extroverted world. The first key is to set boundaries unapologetically. Your energy is the most precious thing that you have, and who you choose to spend time with is who you're choosing to spend your energy on, and not just people, but also events. Setting boundaries is one of the toughest things because it involves direct confrontation, not something that we're mostly very good at, but it is one of the most key things to living a happy introverted life. I've had to learn this to set boundaries with the people in my life for when I need my alone time, when I just want to be left alone, not because I'm angry or mad or anything like that, but simply because I just need to recharge. Don't ask me questions every hour for this or that. Just let me be completely alone. And the same can be said about events. I won't go to every event because it's exhausting. So I time them out and I set boundaries. If it's not that important, I say no. I don't have to go to everything for everyone. I do want to show up for the most important things for everyone. So setting boundaries early will establish that with the people in your life, and the people that love you and care about you will understand, or at the very least respect. If they're extroverted, they may not understand very deeply, but they will respect that this is what you need. The second key is accepting that socializing will drain you. As an introvert, I still love hanging out with my friends and family, loved ones. But no matter how much I love the people that I'm around, it will still drain me. And so I've learned to accept this fact and not plan things back to back. If I decide to go hang out with friends on Monday, I'm not going to fill Tuesday with a bunch of stuff that I have to do, alone or with other people, because I won't do it. I'll need Tuesday to recharge. And once I realize this and stop trying to extrovert myself, I realize that I can much better manage my time and my energy and be a whole lot more productive, rather than being disappointed in myself that I failed because I scheduled a bunch of stuff that I had to do, even if it was at home, after a giant day of socializing. We need this time to recuperate, honor it, schedule it. A third key is having scripts for social situations. Yes, I am the person that will sometimes write out a script before I have to make a phone call, just so that I'm more comfortable with the initial interaction. For me, it's really the initial interaction. Once I get the flow of the conversation, it's pretty good from there on out. But if you need a full-on script, write that down. If you're going into a new social situation at work or a social situation where there's people around that you don't know, go through things that they might ask you, that they might be curious about, and practice your answers beforehand. So when someone asks about you, you don't stare at them with a blank expression wondering, I don't understand what they're asking me, because I think we've all been there. You'll have already practiced what to say, what kind of things that you're comfortable sharing as well. Because another thing we sometimes tend to do, myself included, is overshare. I like deep conversations, but not everyone does. And so going right into something deep about myself or a deep conversation may be off-putting to the extroverts around us. So practicing socially appropriate things to answer, to say, even questions to bring up, is a way for not only us to be more comfortable in social situations, but for everyone around us to be more comfortable as well. The fourth key is to carve out alone time daily. Now, the amount of time that you need may vary person to person. Figure out what that number is for you, just about, and make sure to carve that out daily. And if not daily, every other day. You cannot go a week without carving out alone time, no matter how busy you are. If you're that busy, you need to delegate. The people around you need to take responsibility for themselves, for their own actions, and simply to help you out. You do not have to take care of everything for everyone, especially if they're not letting you take care of yourself. For me, my most precious time every day is when I'm alone. And even though I love the people around me, I still need a break for them. So sometimes, honestly, I will just have my partner go play video games because that is something that he loves. Great. And I will create that alone time for myself. Too many busy days definitely drain me. So when I need time alone, even when I'm living with other people, I simply either let them know or I remove myself from my regular location and go to a different location that usually is sort of the hint that I want to be alone. Remember, the people that love you may not understand your need for alone time, but they should respect it and do everything in their power to make sure that you get what you need to be the best version of yourself. The fifth key is use headphones as an armor. I do this in particular when I'm traveling. And I specifically, instead of using the wireless buds, I use the wired ones. Because for me, it's an additional note to the people around me that, hey, I'm listening to something. Doesn't matter whether I actually am or not. It is my armor against them starting to small talk with me. So I do that no matter what. Half the time I'm not listening to anything, but I like that visual armor. And it generally works. Even if I land next to someone that's very chatty, especially the act of, putting the earbud in, oh, hey, she's not into talking. Great. Okay. I'm going to talk to someone else. And that makes me super happy. I hate talking small talk with strangers. But you can use it in your everyday life as well. If you decide to go to a coffee shop or you have to pick something up in the store even, put the headphones on. Random people won't be asking you questions because they'll assume that you can't hear them. And it's not important whether you're listening to something or not. And for safety, depending on the situation, I would recommend that you're not listening to something. But it is a nice armor against the world. And sometimes maybe you even just put on like some white noise or calming music when you're going into stressful situations. Sometimes even grocery shopping, if you have to go during a busy time, can be very overwhelming. But having calming music in your ears can help center you and get you through that moment so you can get back home and have some alone decompression time. The sixth key is to go on solo adventures. Extroverts love big outings, doing things in groups, and that's lovely, that's wonderful for them. Us introverts like doing things more by ourselves. And while it's great to sit at home and be completely away from the world, and definitely necessary a lot of the times, don't use it as an excuse to not participate in the world. There's so many beautiful, great things out there. I love going to the movies by myself. And I do tend to pick a time when there's almost no one in the movies, to the best of my ability. Go in the middle of the week, early, things like that. But I like the act of going there and watching the movie on the big screen. It's just something that makes me happy. I'm less big on going to restaurants by myself, but I will if I want to. I have no problem with it. One of the things that I've done mostly, actually most of my trips, if they weren't with family, they have been by myself to different countries. And I like traveling solo because I have no one to answer to but myself. I go to the places that I want. I take a break when I want. I can socialize or not socialize how I want. Sometimes when traveling with other people, you're a little stuck in what they want to do. And if you're traveling with a bunch of extroverts, it can be extremely difficult because they tend to want to go from, dawn till dusk. And that's just too much. And I never want to be the asshole that's like, oh, I need to go back to the hotel because it feels like I'm not participating. So I just prefer traveling by myself. But you don't have to go that big, obviously. Take yourself to a museum, take yourself to a concert, to a movie, to the restaurant, to an overnight trip, a town over. Whatever your environment is, your situation, and your comfort level, just start small. Go on solo outings, see how it feels. It will feel scary at first. Do not write it off from the first time. Give yourself some grace and try a few times, either that same activity or different activities to get yourself comfortable with it. Because sometimes if there's too many people around, regardless, it's not gonna feel that great. I love going to sit by a lake. But if there's too many people out that day that are also sitting by the lake, I don't feel comfortable. There's too many people around. But if I go to that same lake when there's almost no one there, it can feel amazing. So don't write things off too quickly, but go on solo adventures. The 7th key is don't force extroversion. As introverts, we're not going to be the loudest voice in the room. We're not going to be the super networker at work. How we approach things is quieter, but that does not mean it's not powerful. It is important to challenge yourself socially sometimes, yes. And sometimes we are in situations where we have to do things around people that maybe isn't our choice. You know, we have to attend a networking event that we don't want to, but because it's required by work, for example. Make the best of it. Don't try to overwhelm yourself or get to know every single person. Pick 1 or 2 people, get to know them on a deeper level, for example. Don't let anyone tell you that your way is wrong just because it is quieter, just because it shows up differently than the extroverts around us do. There is power in the way we move through the world and in the quietness with which we do it. Don't forget that. And here's a little bonus key. Lean into your rich inner world. Daydream. I used to daydream all the time when I was a kid. And then I basically bought into the social expectation that it's a waste of time. I disagree. Daydreaming is a thing that makes me happy. It's a thing that helps me be creative, particularly in my case with writing. Lean into it. And you know what? When the day is tough and annoying, retreat to your inner world. Do not go there to live. Do not ignore real life, but use it. Use it as something that you look forward to. Our creativity is our strength. Use your inner world to show up better in your real world. So that's all I have for you today. I would like to leave you with one final question though. When was the last time that you felt frustrated as an introvert in an extroverted world? Or if you happen to be an extrovert and you watched this video and you got to the end, how is a way that you can show up better for your introverted friends? Leave it in the comments below. That's all I have for today. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.